What's going on YouTube? You're watching Fixed by Shaq, and in today's video I'm gonna show you how to create a bootable Mac OS Ventura install disk drive in here. In my case, I've got in here this SanDisk USB pen drive, and I want to turn it into a bootable install disk of Mac OS Ventura. Now, the cool part about this method of installing your operating system through an external disk by going to the boot menu is that you can actually install an operating system on devices which are considered to be dead, like they don't have any software, and you still want to install a software on that specific device. And secondly, you do not need to download a large software while performing the installation on that specific computer. This method helps a lot, especially in situations where you have corrupted your operating system, it doesn't turn on anymore, it doesn't boot up, and you still want to install the operating system on that device. Hey, my name is Shaq, and in this channel I help you fixing tech related issues. So if you're into tech content, consider subscribing here to the YouTube channel. In today's video, we'll be creating a bootable Mac OS Ventura installation disk in here, and at my left, I've got in here this MacBook which is working fine. It's the MacBook that I'm going to use to prepare the disk, to turn the disk into a bootable Mac OS Ventura installation disk. And here, at my right, I've got a dad MacBook which doesn't have any operating system. So I'll be installing the software here at the right on this older version of MacBook device. Now, please note that in order for this to work, you need to have a pen drive with minimum of 16 gigabytes of storage. In my case in here, I've got the SanDisk with 64 gigabytes of storage, but you need to have a minimum of 16 gigabytes of storage in order for this to work. Without any further ado, let's jump straight into the tutorial. So here we are in our MacBook right now, and the very first thing in here that we'll be doing is we're going to hop straight into this website in here, which is official Apple supports website, from where we can actually download the operating system. Now, do not worry, because the link to this website is down in the description box below, and all you need to do is just tap in the link in the description box below and you will be headed all the way to this exact same page that I'm looking at right now. So once we're here, what we're going to be doing is we'll scroll down all the way to here where we've got use the app store, and then down here we're going to select the operating system that we wish to download. In our case, we want to download Mac OS Ventura, so I'm going to tap here and then tap on Open App Store. Now, next up, once we're here, the next thing we're going to be doing is tap here on Get, okay? And then after a few seconds, this new window is going to pop up in here. Just wait for a couple seconds. And then we'll have this prompt in here which says Mac OS Ventura. Are you sure you want to download Mac OS Ventura 13.7.4? Tap here on download. Okay, we're downloading this version right here, which is the latest version of Mac OS Ventura. Let me tap on download, and the download will now initiate. This should take you some time, like 30 minutes, 20 minutes, or even 5 minutes if you have a really fast internet connection. In my case, my internet is not that fast, so it will take me around 30 minutes to get this completed. Now, please note that we are downloading Mac OS Ventura from App Store itself, which is a reliable source to download the operating system. We're downloading the official operating system from Apple server itself. So don't worry, when it comes to security, you're downloading a safe operating system. Now, all we need to do now is just to wait for 30 minutes while the download gets completed. Here we go, the download has been complete, and as soon as you finish downloading, you might be prompted with this message right here, but do not worry, okay? So this message says that the installer cannot be used from the version of macOS you are currently running. This is because actually when you download the image of the operating system, the system automatically runs it and tries to install it in your computer. And in my case, I have a much newer operating system, so this is why you have this error right here. But do not worry, simply tap here on quit, because we don't wish to install it in this computer, right? Next up, simply close this, and now let's move into the next step. Next up, we need to connect our USB pen drive into our MacBook, okay? The pen drive that you wish to actually create it as a bootable Mac OS Ventura install drive. So here we go, I've already connected mine. This is my disk right here. Let me close it. We're going back to the spotlight search here at the top right corner, and then we're going to search for disk utility. So once you search for disk utility, you're going to double tap here to open up this program right here. And then we're going to find here at the left our external disk, which is the pen drive that we have connected. So this is the one, and it's here under external. It should be under external because it's something that you've connected from an external source. So you don't want to mess around with these internal disks right here. Once you tap on this, we're going to format the disk. So make sure you do not have any important information in your pen drive because you're going to lose all data that you had in your pen drive. So if you have important information, make sure you back it up before we format it. Next up, we'll tap here on erase, and then make sure that the format is set to macOS extended journaled as it is right here, and then tap on erase. Okay, the erase process will start, and this should take you a couple seconds. Once this is done, you'll be able to see this message which says process complete. Tap on done, close disk utility, and then we're heading back to the spotlight search once again. Now we're going to search for applications folder. So here we go, this is the applications folder. Double tap on it to open it, and then you'll be brought to this folder where you've gotten here all apps that are installed to your MacBook device. So we're going to search for this specific file, which is install macOS Ventura. Okay, so as soon as you download it from the App Store, it's going to be stored in this folder right here. Now, what you want to do here is simply right click on install macOS Ventura, tap on show package contents, double tap on contents. Next up, open up resources, and then you want to find this file in here, which is called create install media. Now, you want to make sure you select create install media and not create install media.dylab. You want to stick to this one right here. Once you select, you're going to keep your Finder window aside. We're going back to the spotlight search here at the top right corner, but now we're going to search for the terminal. Okay, so search for terminal and then double tap on terminal to open up the terminal right here. Terminal is basically a program or a place where we can run commands manually here in our computer, right? Let me just increase the size of the terminal by pressing command plus. Here we go. So it's more visible to you guys here. So in here, we're going to write a very simple command, but you need to type it correctly so you do not miss any character. Okay, so this will be sudo sudo space. Then we're going back to the Finder here. We're going to drag the create install media and drop it here inside terminal. This is how it goes. Hold it, drag it, and leave it over here. Next up, you'll be able to see the path here of this specific file. This is all we wanted to actually bring it here, the path. Next up, you'll type -- and then volume space. We're going back to Finder. We need to find our pen drive, which is this one right here. Okay, next up, right click on it and tap on showing and closing folder. Once you do this, you'll be able to see your disk selected here. So you just want to drag it all the way to terminal again in order to bring the path to terminal. Once this is done, here on terminal, we're going to press enter or return key on your keyboard. Tap on enter. It's going to ask you for your password, the password that you used to log in into your MacBook when you turn on your MacBook. Okay, so simply type in your password. Now, do not worry because it might seem like you're not typing anything. Like, this is for security purposes. Terminal doesn't show up here when you type in your password. So once you're done typing your password, simply tap on OK, on enter or return key once again. Next up, it's going to ask you whether you want to continue to prepare your pen drive as an installer. Simply type the letter Y and again select the enter or the return key. Okay, tap on enter and then the process will start right now. As you can see, it's now erasing my disk. It's on 20%. It's going to erase my external pen drive. And then now the macOS preparation process has started. Here we go, copying essential files, copying the macOS recovery. You just need to wait for a couple minutes until this is complete. This should take you 15 to 20 minutes. You just need to wait, sit back, relax while your MacBook does its thing. So here we go, we're now at 90% as you can see here, and the process is almost done. Let's just wait for a couple more minutes. Here we go. We're now at 100% and the preparation here of copying the Mac OS Ventura to our disk has been successfully complete. Now, a few more steps are happening in here. A few configurations are taking place where the computer is actually getting the Mac OS installation ready to be recognized throughout the process of installing it from the boot menu. So let's wait for a couple more minutes. And boom, here we go. The installation is complete, as you can see here. Making this bootable has been also set to 100%, and install media now available at volumes install Mac OS Ventura is the last reply that we actually got here from our terminal. Next up, the next thing we're going to be doing is simply close terminal, and then as you can see here, our pen drive name has changed to install Mac OS Ventura. Okay, this means that if you open up, for example, we've got in here the installation, and this disk is now ready to be boot up from the boot menu to install it as a fresh new installation. So next up, we're going to tap here on eject to eject the disk from our MacBook, and we're good to go. Now let's move into our MacBook and proceed with the installation of Mac OS Ventura. So here we go, we're now giving a look at our MacBook, the MacBook where we wish to install the operating system, and here is my pen drive which I have prepared to be a bootable Mac OS Ventura installation disk. So first things first, what we need to do in here is make sure that our MacBook is turned off, and then while it's off we want to connect the USB pen drive into the MacBook. Now, next up, we're going to turn on our MacBook. We're going to tap once on power, and then we're going to press and hold the option key here at the inferior left corner of your keyboard. So you want to press and hold it until you see the option to boot from a different disk. Now, if you have one of the latest MacBooks running the M chip models, for example, if you have the MacBook M1, M2, M3, or anything that has the M chip by Apple themselves, the method is a bit different. Instead of pressing and holding the option key in here, you do not need to press and hold the option key. You just need to press and hold the power button, and while turning on, you want to keep your finger on the power key until you see the option to boot from another disk. This should be 5 to 7 seconds while pressing and holding the power key. So let's jump straight into the process. Tap once on power, press and hold option key, because in my case I've got a MacBook which is a bit older with an Intel chip. Here we go. Once we see this option to boot up, we're going to release the option key, and as you guys can see, I've got in here 3 options to boot up from. The first option being my disk, the second option being my recovery disk, and then the third option being install Mac OS Ventura. So what we want to do here is simply hop into Mac OS Ventura and install it from here. Okay, now what we need to do now is simply navigate to the right, and in order to navigate to the right, we're going to use our arrows here in our keyboard. So just go right once again, install Mac OS Ventura, and tap on enter. So once you tap on enter, the installation guide will start up and you'll be able to install it as fast as possible without downloading the operating system from the internet, because we already have it here in the USB drive. In my case, I won't be installing it right now, but once you tap on enter, it's very easy. You just need to follow up the wizard, tap on next, log in with your iCloud, and then set up your user. This is how easy it is to install Mac OS Ventura from your bootable disk right here. Thank you so much for making it till the end of the video, and if you find my content useful here on YouTube, consider subscribing, leave a comment down below, and like the video. If you have any doubt, leave a comment down below and I'll make sure I reply to you as soon as possible. Thanks for watching Fixed by Shaq, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day.